I'm Jason Eppers, and this is RV Miles, and it's time for the latest in RV and camping news. First up, I just want to acknowledge some of the severe weather out there. The deadliest tornado since 2015 to hit Texas touched down on Saturday in the midst of dozens of tornadoes that have hit across the middle of the country, many of them hitting RV parks. The Texas twister struck along the Denton-Cook County line on Interstate 35, and the Cook County Sheriff says that at least 7 people were killed and more than 100 were injured. Many of the injuries were reported at a pair of gas stations where people attempted to seek shelter from the twister. The tornado overturned many RVs in the area, and significant damage was reported at Lake Ray Roberts Marina and RV Park, but no injuries have been reported there. Stay safe out there, folks. There's been quite a lot of concern from American RVers on their way up to Alaska over a new rule from the CDC that changes how dogs are allowed to enter the country. Starting August 1st, dogs must be 6 months old to be able to cross the border back into the States, and they must be microchipped. These rules apply to all dogs, including service animals and dogs that left the United States and are returning. They also apply whether you're a U.S. citizen or not. This has a lot of folks scrambling to figure out microchipping their dog in Alaska. You have to have proof of rabies vaccination as you did before, but now you have to also fill out a USDA dog import form online, and you get a receipt that you show. That import form isn't available yet, by the way. It'll only be available 15 days before August 1st. On the form, you have to put where you will cross the border, and you have to then actually cross at that crossing. So there are just a few new landmines for dog owners traveling out of the country that have some people who are already out of the U.S. and in Canada or have made it to Alaska trying to figure out getting microchips and learning all the new rules. The CDC has laid this all out on their website, which was very confusing when people first started sending this to me about a week ago, but it has been updated to be a little bit more clear. And they've made a chat bot called DogBot that you can use to determine what you need to do. All that to say, if you're heading out of the country with a dog, make sure you look into all this. Starlink has made a huge change to its global roaming service. It's jumped from $200 a month to $400. Some RVers were on this plan as it allowed them unlimited time in countries where Starlink operates, but I imagine some will come off of it now. There hasn't been a change to the regional roaming service price, which is what most RVers use. The regional plan only allows you to travel within North America, and when you enter a different country, you have 2 months before you're cut off. That provision hasn't been enforced to date. It's always been in the terms of service, but Starlink says they began enforcing it at the end of April. So I guess we'll see at the end of July if people get cut off traveling from the US into Canada or vice versa. You can change your home address to the new country once your 2 months run out and then change it back, but I don't know that the process is quite as quick and simple as changing your home address within your own country. Starlink has also released a new mount for its latest generation standard dish, which is specifically designed for attaching to vehicles. The mobility mount is designed to create a waterproof seal and is designed for permanently mounting to wood, fiberglass, metal, plastic, and slotted rails on vehicle racks. It features stainless steel fasteners and keeps an 8-degree mounting angle to allow water runoff. It looks here like they're really confirming that you don't really need to aim the dish anymore unless you're trying to get around obstructions or you have signal problems. The mount is $35. It's available now. I still just set mine on the ground. I like being able to find gaps in the trees. It can really make the difference between no internet and fine internet. Big changes have hit campground review website Campendium. Campendium is part of Road Pass, which used to be a suite of apps for RVing and road trip travel, including Togo RV and Roadtrippers, but the company has been working to streamline all those different offerings and move most features over to the Roadtrippers trip planning platform. And that's pretty much what's happening with Campendium. There's now all of these campgrounds and reviews in the Roadtrippers app and platform, which is something a lot of Roadtrippers users have been asking for. But the thing that's bothering a lot of people is that they're not really keeping support of the Campendium website and apps separately. Campendium.com still shows listings of campgrounds, and you can still review them there, but there's no map views at all anymore. No cell coverage, public lands map, none of it. You just get a list, which makes it really hard to find a campground in a given area. The Campendium iOS app still seems to work as it did before, but they've removed the Android app altogether. A post on the Campendium website suggests Android users access campendium.com in a mobile web browser or use the Roadtrippers app. Many of you know RoadPass used to be a sponsor of RV Miles. We no longer have any affiliation with them. And in fact, we're sponsored by their competitors over at RV Life now. So I just want to make it clear that I'm not making any judgment on the service. I haven't tried the new Roadtrippers with the Campendium integration, and I'm sure the addition of the 50,000 campgrounds to Roadtrippers is great. But I'm surprised that they had to make this change and hamstring a pretty well-known brand in Campendium. A lot of people head over to that website to get campground reviews, and it's just not what it used to be anymore. And a lot of them don't use Roadtrippers and are a little thrown off by having to jump into this whole new app ecosystem that maybe is not right for them. More in a moment, but first, this video is sponsored by Liquefied RV Toilet Treatment. The folks over at Matt's RV Reviews have built a product that's really kind of taking over the RV tank treatment market. They worked with a chemical company to really improve the performance of tank additives to keep things moving and smelling fresh. It's available primarily on Amazon and comes with an easy-to-dispense bottle, or you can get the drop-in kind. Everybody I've talked to that's used it has been happy with it. Right now, they're doing something pretty cool too. They're giving away 10,000 free 16-ounce bottles of Liquefied. Just head over to liquefiedrv.com/free bottle to get one. It's really free, not some gimmick to get you to buy more. I'll put a link in the description, liquefiedrv.com/free bottle. Italian RV maker Wingamm is set to make its American debut with the Oasi 540.1. They showed the Euro version of this off at the Florida RV Super Show in January. The American version is going to have a few tweaks to it, and the company just reached out to me to let me know that the American version is set to launch imminently. This is a 17-foot motorhome on a Ram ProMaster chassis, small enough to fit in any parking space. You get a full kitchen, sofa, and bath thanks to the space savings offered by the pull-down overhead bed. I wish more space-saving features like this were mechanical. Good on Wingamm for not making this a motor that you have to press the button and wait for it to come down and hope the motor doesn't fail, otherwise you can't sleep. What's cool about this little camper is that besides being small enough to drive pretty much anywhere, it's built with a monocoque fiberglass shell, meaning the roof and walls are all one piece with no seams to seal and separate, causing water leaks. It's a very strong type of design. Wingamm has been family owned and operated since 1977, and in 1982 they became the first motorhome manufacturer in the world to create a living cell made with a fiberglass monocoque. California-based boutique travel trailer manufacturer Living Vehicle has introduced the CyberTrailer with a design that looks to complement the Tesla Cybertruck. But it's also poised to work well with other electric trucks like Rivian and the Ford Lightning. The CyberTrailer is not just a luxury camper, it's a mobile charging station. The trailer can provide independent power for all its needs while also providing level 2 charging for the tow vehicle when off-grid. Now, usually there just isn't anywhere near enough solar on the roof of an RV to make a difference, but Living Vehicle tends to pack it on up there. Their 30-foot travel trailer, which, by the way, is the most perfect RV I've ever stepped foot in, can come from the factory with up to 4,200 watts of solar and 6,000 amp hours of battery. I'm not sure what will be available on the CyberTrailer, but all of Living Vehicle's models essentially can charge an electric vehicle or be charged themselves off of one, depending on your needs. And of course, you can also tow it with a gas or a diesel truck. These things are designed to run for months on solar, but they also do some cool stuff with water. The CyberTrailer is equipped with a water generation system that extracts moisture from the air, like Living Vehicle's other models, but it also recycles gray water for reuse as fresh water. So what's the downside? the cost. The CyberTrailer starts at $175,000, and it will go up significantly with all the power options that you're going to add on. That's going to be a very base battery and solar package. Deliveries will begin in 2025, and the first production run is already 80% sold out. You can reserve one with a $100 refundable deposit. The NOAA National Weather Service forecasters at the Climate Prediction Center predict above normal hurricane activity in the Atlantic Basin this year. NOAA's outlook for the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, which spans from June 1st to November 30th, predicts an 85% chance of an above normal season, a 10% chance of a near normal season, and a 5% chance of a below normal season. NOAA is forecasting a range of 17 to 25 total named storms, which is winds of 39 miles per hour or higher. That's more than they've ever predicted for hurricane season. Of those, 8 to 13 are forecast to become hurricanes, which is winds of 74 miles or higher, including 4 to 7 major hurricanes, category 3, 4, or 5, with winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. Forecasters say they have a 70% confidence in those ranges. The upcoming hurricane season is expected to have above normal activity due to a confluence of factors, including near record warm ocean temperatures in the Atlantic, development of La Nina conditions in the Pacific, reduced Atlantic trade winds, and less wind shear, all of which tend to favor tropical storm formation. NOAA's outlook is for overall seasonal activity and is not a landfall forecast. So these could all be just out on the ocean. They could be in different countries. The Climate Prediction Center will update the seasonal outlook in early August prior to the historical peak of the season. A virtual RV summit called RV Convention is set to take place in just a few days. 30 speakers will cover RVing and travel in a free event that takes place on Monday, June 3rd. RV industry experts, adventurers, and influencers will share their insights, experiences, and wisdom in pre-recorded presentations that you can view for free live, but you have to register in advance at rvconvention.com. Finally, this episode is being released on Memorial Day 2024, and as we remember those who have sacrificed for the freedoms we enjoy, it's also the unofficial start to camping season. Pools are opening, grills are being fired up, and 43.8 million travelers will head 50 miles or more from home, according to AAA. Road trips are expected to set a record. AAA projects 38.4 million people will travel America's roads over Memorial Day weekend, the highest number since AAA began tracking in 2000, signaling the beginning of a busy American travel season. Stay safe on the roads, be weather alert, and thanks so much for being here. If you want more content like this, check out the RV Miles podcast. We're on any podcast app. We've been doing it for 7 years now, and it's also on its own dedicated YouTube channel. We hope to see you over there. That's it for this week's RV and Camping News Roundup. Hit the like button if you got something out of this video. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.